Hi everybody, we're pretty much ready to go, so welcome to the Siemens Solid Edge Portfolio webinar titled Getting Started with Technical Publications. We'll be focusing on the creation of interactive and compelling technical documentation directly from your CAD models. This is part of a series of digital transformation webinars that focus on speeding your product development and manufacturing process and helping you deliver world-class products to your customers. My name's John Sutcliffe and I'll be your host for this webinar. I work for the technical team here at Siemens in the Mainstream Engineering Division. I'm also joined today by one of my colleagues, Craig Ruchty, who will be showing you the software in a short while. The Solid Edge portfolio is focused on driving digital transformation for small and medium-sized companies. We see that these companies want complete, fully featured professional engineering tools, but they also need tools that are easy to access and easy to learn. As you'll see in this webinar series, the Solid Edge portfolio is much more than just Solid Edge CAD software. It's a complete portfolio of solutions for design, simulation, manufacturing and technical publications. Also, we have tools for collaboration and data management. Combine these speed the complete product development process. With the Solid Edge portfolio, you can create detailed 3D digital models of your proposed products and use this as a basis of all areas of product development. This includes concept and detailed design, prototyping, simulation, manufacturing, installation and service. This digital 3D model helps our customers address trends like increased complexity and increasing regulations. So let's focus in on Solid Edge technical publications. We can see that it has some widespread uses within the product lifecycle. From the creation of work instructions to aid the assembly process, to production planning, quality assurance documentation, and field service manuals or spare parts catalogues that aid the support of a product. From a manufacturing or go-to-market perspective, it helps speed the transition of the raw design of a product through to having a deliverable product. Part of this, of course, is the reduction of assembly errors. From a marketing and sales perspective, it helps engage prospects by using interactive visual content which communicates the product benefits more easily. And from a support perspective, it helps service departments maintain products, assist with part ordering and reduces support costs by having better informed customers. Again, this is achieved by using engaging, visual and interactive documentation. Some typical output or delivery options for technical documentation might include physical hard copy, the sort of printed package of information that might come in the product packaging to give the end user assembly instructions and so on. Or we might want to deliver electronic documentation such as PDF. Now these can be static, like printed pages, or they can be interactive and actually contain the 3D model and animations. This allows us to easily share content using a single file which can be opened in the industry standard Adobe Reader. Or we might want to deliver files in a web format such as HTML5. These, much like PDFs, can be interactive. They can be viewed in a modern web browser, and unlike other products, our solution doesn't require any plugins to view the content. These files can easily be uploaded to a web server so that we can collaborate with our customers and suppliers, or they can also be easily viewed offline. So the typical workflow once we have our 3D CAD model, and by the way, the 3D model could come from Solid Edge or any other 3D CAD system. For example, we also support SolidWorks. So the first part of the workflow is that we would author the 3D documentation. This is done in an environment which combines 3D tools and page design, and that allows us to import our model and create the layout of the page. Then we would print or save the design to whatever format we need, be that static manuals or interactive PDFs or HTML5. This process allows us to create once and publish to as many different formats as necessary. Then finally, if the documentation is electronic, we can deliver it via whatever means necessary. For instance, HTML5 could be hosted on our own internal server or uploaded to our web server to be consumed by those outside of our organisation. One of the benefits of using Solid Edge technical publications is that the documentation process can be started before the 3D design is finished. This is due to the fact that the documentation is associative to the CAD model. Then any updates to the model can be accommodated without disrupting the work that's already been done in the documentation process. This streamlines the process when we compare it to a traditional manual process where creation of the documentation actually can't start until the design is complete. Remember that in addition to Solid Edge, we also support other CAD formats such as SolidWorks and Inventor. So in a nutshell, Solid Edge Technical Publications provides the easy and powerful creation of technical documentation. We can create instructions and catalogues faster. Costly mistakes are reduced because graphics based on a 3D model are easier to understand. And we can minimise the disruption of design engineers, since we can just pick up and work on the models they produce. They do not need to create specific output for documentation purposes. Updates to any existing documentation are seamless. If the design changes, it's not a problem. We can simply bring those changes into our existing documentation. This ultimately reduces costs. And also, as we've seen on the previous slide, the documentation can be started before the design is finished too. We also have some unique time-saving features, like smart templates, which automatically create step-by-step processes from exploded views in the CAD model. We can use configurations to allow larger models to be broken down into subsets. This obviously makes them easier to work on. And we can create compound documents that detail and reference multiple models. So what products do we have available in order to achieve these results and get the job done? First off, we have Solid Edge Illustrations. This helps with the batch creation of images that can be used for technical illustrations. We can use it to create customer part lists, raster or vector images, and also animated instructions as well as 3D PDFs and HTML files. All of these can be based on standard templates. Or we have the full 3D publishing product for the creation of technical documentation. This product combines 3D tools as well as page design tools used to build multi-page manuals or documents, complete with things like clickable buttons, tables and much more. These documents can be output as either interactive or static documents in PDF, 3D PDF, HTML5, or obviously printed formats. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Craig and he'll run us through the Solid Edge 3D publishing product and really show us what's possible with these solutions. Craig, over to you.
Alright, thank you, John. Just a second, get this set up. In this example, we'll look at how Solid Edge's new technical publications products can help you improve productivity and drive up customer satisfaction. This is accomplished by a tight integration with Solid Edge CAD data, bringing all important information directly into the technical publications product of choice. This includes model geometry, file associations and properties, configurations, exploded views, and PMI data. Solid Edge Technical Publications offers two levels of product solutions. The first is Solid Edge Illustrations, which is intended for creating single-page illustrations based on a delivered set of templates. And second is Solid Edge 3D Publishing, which is what we'll be working with today. 3D Publishing is used to build entire sets of documentation, including interactive 3D views, text-based instructions, and Excel-style charts to deliver customized documents form-fit to your needs. Both Solid Edge Illustrations and 3D Publishing provide users options on how they wish to work, either exporting an assembly into a technical publication document or opening a Solid Edge file directly within the product. Here we'll use a delivered template to create a set of work instructions for replacing the motor on the Bernina sewing machine. Each page will be made up of a storyboard containing illustrations. We use the first page of our template as a cover page. As is common with the first page of working documents, safety instructions come first. As we already have the sewing machine in the model area, we could simply create a new illustration and use one of the many delivered industry standard images to show that the work being done needs to be completed with the unit powered down and unplugged. The second step to the instructions deals with gaining access to the motor assembly. We can easily guide users on how to remove the back cover with another delivered image. Of course, as we're working with 3D geometry, It's necessary to change the orientation of images depending on how you want them to appear. Changing the grid orientation allows us to place our arrow exactly how we want it, perpendicular to the back cover. So now we have two illustrations created, but we need to have a way for users to access and switch between them. We can easily do this using an illustrations table. Illustration tables automatically look at our cover page and place all contained illustrations in an interactive table so end users can cycle through them with a simple click of a button. Of course, individual pages, fonts, and setups can easily be edited to fit all of your needs and how you want the outputs to look. Now that our cover page has been completed, let's move on to the next. An interactive table of contents allows end users to quickly and easily navigate the document. But as this is automatically updated and associated to the pages, no further action is required from us. The next page includes step-by-step instructions for removing the motor assembly. The best way to visualize this process is to mimic it through the 3D view. Solid Edge Technical Publications not only imports all native Solid Edge exploded views, but also allows for creation directly inside of the interface. Here, we'll leverage this functionality by creating our own view and then automatically create a set of illustrations based on each step. There are several different options for how to move parts and the directions in which they explode. Here, we'll use the coordinate systems of the parts to get access to the X, Y, and Z directions and pull each component out perpendicularly to how they're placed. First is the cover, followed by the fan, then the belt drive, both mounting bolts and washers, and finally the motor assembly. Once the exploded view is created, we'll use it to set up step-by-step instructions for our storyboard. We can easily accomplish this using a tool called the Storyboard Wizard that takes all of the exploded view steps and makes individual illustrations out of them. The Storyboard Wizard offers several options on how you wish to organize the illustrations, from reversing explosion steps for reassembly to individual illustration viewing positions. For this, we'll simply create the images as seen on screen, as it makes it easy to see all but one of the components removed. As we need to be zoomed out a bit to see the removal of the back cover, we can simply override the viewing position and fix it individually. It also would look better to start the page with an image of the entire assembly together before it starts going into the explode steps. To do this, we can simply create another illustration of the assembly unexploded and then move it to the front of the storyboard. From here, all that's left is defining what each image is showing, from removing the back cover to removing the motor assembly itself. Notice that there is space for adding any additional information necessary for the instructions, but for our needs, simply identifying the steps will suffice. Now that the instructions for removing the motor assembly are complete, we need to show the final steps of taking it apart. When we imported the QSM file into 3D Publishing, the primary display configuration used is the default. For this page, we just need to show the motor, not the entire machine. No worries though. With Solid Edge 3D Publishing, we can create one on the fly, or easily leverage an existing configuration. For this page, we intend to show the motor disassembly, so we need not only a collapsed view, but an exploded view as well. Our first illustration for the collapsed view is simple, as the display configuration is already showing the motor in that state. For the exploded view, we can easily leverage one previously created inside of Solid Edge. In addition to display configurations and exploded views, Solid Edge Technical Publications products import all of the essential properties and associated data as well. Here, since we're only viewing the motor assembly, we can change the interactive parts list to show only parts associated to that assembly. Leveraging work that has already been done in Solid Edge is another great time saver when creating publications. Now that our illustrations are in place, just a few more page edits and we'll be set. Like our illustration table created earlier, we need to have some buttons that associate to the collapsed and exploded views that we created. In addition to predefined tables, Solid Edge 3D Publishing can customize interactive objects from any shape chosen. Here, using a rectangular shape to signify a button to change to the associated illustration. Once it's properly defined and styled how we want it, we can simply copy and paste, changing only the necessary settings to associate to the exploded view. Of course, one of the key factors in working between products is the ability to associate model updates when they take place. The Solid Edge Technical Publication products have full associativity when revising models. When changes are made to the parts, simply click on the Update button inside of the publishing product, select the revised Solid Edge assembly or the associated QSM file, and the software handles the rest. Maintaining this associativity allows you to create your technical publications alongside your CAD designs without having to worry about having the final version before you can even start. This process allows users to complete their deliverables and get product to market faster. Now that we've got all of the instructions created and imagery in place, it's time to look at the process of publishing the document. There are 2 more pages at the end of this template, one of which we don't need. The great thing about Solid Edge 3D Publishing is that the delivered templates cover most all of our needs, but if a need comes to alter them, we have full control of what our output will be. Now that our project is how we want it, we can choose how we wish to publish. Solid Edge 3D Publishing provides access to the latest file types for industry standards, including 3D PDF, HTML5, and of course, paper print. For our purposes, we need to host these work instructions on our website, so we'll use an HTML5 output. For this project, we just need a single file, but additional options are available for multi-page HTML publications. The great thing about Solid Edge Technical Publications is that end users can access the information without any additional action on their part. Our HTML5 output will open in any modern browser, and 3D PDF files can easily be opened and used without any additional plugins needing to be downloaded. Saving time and hassle when viewing publications makes for happy end users. Publication created, now let's just take a look at the results. First, we need to power off and unplug the unit, and then we'll focus on removing the back cover to access the motor assembly. Of course, we need to disassemble some parts, but that's easy following the step-by-step instructions. The fan, then the belt drive, and then we can remove the bolts and the washers holding the motor in place. Once out, the mounting hardware can be removed and then reassembled. This is easily visualized using exploded views as well as interactive parts lists to identify which part goes where. You can see how the Solid Edge Technical Publications products provide users with a fast and intuitive platform to create whatever publications necessary. With full customization capability of illustrations, full associativity for model updates, and industry-standard publishing options, Solid Edge Technical Publications provide users with all the capability they need to get the job done right the first time. Thank you very much. Back to you, John.
Okay, thanks Craig, great job. So in summary, we've seen that Solid Edge Technical Publications has the ability to easily create compelling, engaging and interactive documentation from multiple CAD sources and provides many benefits across the product lifecycle, from the creation of work instructions to aid the assembly process, production planning, quality assurance documentation, service manuals, spare parts catalogues and so on. It's also very helpful from a marketing and sales perspective and helps engage prospects by using interactive visual content which communicates product benefits more easily. And we shouldn't underestimate the time saved by streamlining the creation of documentation by allowing the process to start well before the design is finished. Remember too that the Solid Edge portfolio is more than just technical publications, or CAD even. It's a complete portfolio of solutions for design, simulation, manufacturing, technical publications, and in addition, tools for collaboration and data management. Combined, these tools speed the complete product development process. Okay, so that's pretty much all from us now. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Just a few final things. If you have any questions, either technical or commercial, we'll be fielding these on our Solid Edge community. Here you're free to create a new post making reference to this technical publications webinar. If you'd like to speak to us directly, you can of course call the number shown on this slide. If you're interested in trying out the Solid Edge design solution from the portfolio, you can visit the link shown and download a free 45-day trial of Solid Edge. And finally, remember that this is just part of a series of digital transformation webinars, and you're free to attend any of the upcoming sessions either live or on demand. So from Craig and myself for today, thanks for your attention, thanks for watching, and see you next time.